Hello, Keegan. How are you?
We are
I'm good.
recording.
I'm good, Troy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm chatting with you all the way from Thailand, my friend.
Thailand. Okay. All right. You win it for the day, buddy. You're the furthest away. I guarantee. I guarantee.
First question for you is, and I think this is obvious, that one of the selling points for you for being a part of this project was working with Stephen Levitan and being a part of the Levitan universe, correct?
100%. Yeah, I had an opportunity to do an episode of Modern Family a few years back, and it was an absolute blast. And when he approached me with this idea and this character, I was in. I was 100% in. I figured with that pedigree, I want to be involved.
Do you hope a show like this not only obviously makes the fans laugh and enjoy the show, but at the same time gives the average viewer an idea of what really goes on behind the scenes when it comes to a show like this and how success can just go in an instant?
100%. That is exactly how I feel. I think it's going to be really thrilling for the audience to say, oh, so this is how it's done. And what I think is very important is I want them to understand that this is how it's done. This really is how it works. I think I had said to somebody, I said, it's like watching a really funny documentary. That's what this show is like to me.
Speaking of the authenticity for this show, how authentic is the show to the real craziness that goes on behind the scenes? And was it important to make it as authentic as possible?
It was extremely important to make it as authentic as possible. And I think that there might be a skosh of heightening in regard to what would happen in real life. But I'll tell you, Troy, not a ton. A lot of the storylines and plots that you're seeing in the show are coming from the minds and memories and experiences of the writing staff and of people who, there's a few of us on this show who have been producers and have been writers ourselves, between me and Paul Reiser and Rachel Bloom, people who've created programs. And so lots of the storylines are, as I say, ripped from the headlines of the lives of our staff.
I'm curious, with a cast like this, the first thing I thought about was like, how much improvisation are they allowed to do? Or do you have to stick strictly to the script?
There's room for a little bit of improvisation, but I would say it's more kind of, for lack of a better phrase, organized improvisation, meaning the lane with which we can improvise is very narrow. So the storylines are so tight and some storylines are interconnected, but some storylines each piece really has to be there. So you don't have a lot of time to spin off to the side. If you have something that might enhance what's already happening, we would go for it. But if you don't, it's kind of like leave it in the holster and tell Stephen later, oh, this made me think of this, but that would be for a different episode, if you know what I mean.
And finally, I'm curious to know, with a show like this coming back, this reboot, to me, it seems like it's a double-edged sword. It's great to have the group back together, bring the show back together, have everyone come back together, but at the same time, you have to deal with this nostalgia effect and how that can be like a double-edged sword. What would you say about that?
I think that's kind of that's the danger that anybody has to deal with when they're doing a real reboot. The reboots that we see is that you can't. The thing is, right, Troy, the writing has to be good. The concept has to be solid. You can't ride the show out on just nostalgia. And I think sometimes that's the danger. The danger is you want to see the forest for the trees. And have to go, do we really have something here? Or do I just have such a warm feeling in my heart that I want to see whatever it is again? And I think that we have seen examples of both happen. And that is part of the challenge of making one of these work.
Well, I thank you for your time, sir. I've been trying to chat with you since the first season of Key and Peele, so it's been an honor to talk to you. So
oh my gosh, I'm glad we got to work it out all the way from Thailand.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too, Troy. Take care.